Hello, hello everybody. Good evening. It is January 27th, 2026. It is the last Tuesday of the month. Glad to be here after missing doing a video last week because I had a meeting. That is just, I'm on the council at church again, so that is going to happen, I think, about every other month. I kind of have plans if it happens, I'm up to it. I might, and depending on what I'm doing later in the week, I could move a video to a Monday or a Thursday. So I'll just keep you posted. It is also kind of a nice, I guess, night off kind of thing. I'm really glad that you are here tonight. I want to make sure, or you're here watching on the replay, so I would like to remind you right now to take a second and like this video and subscribe if you have not already. I think I'm at 44 subscribers, so it'll be fun to get to that 45. I have Gus over here looking for attention. I have a snoring Pearl, and Turbo is focused out the window looking for his friend, which is a black cat that roams the neighborhood. But with this cold weather and snow, I surely hope Friend is not roaming around in this. It is cold. I have been trying. I have long sleeves on, and I like push them up because I'll like stand, and then I'm like, I like do this, and I'm like, oh, I'm cold. I need them back on. Hello, Mom is on. Hi, good evening, Mom. But glad to be back stamping. So we would have had Stamp Club this last Sunday, and I would be sharing those projects with you, but we did postpone because of the weather here. We had a lot of snow, and it was very, very cold. So we're going to have Stamp Club this Sunday, and so that kind of gave me, between the Stamp Club and the being canceled and then the snow, and what I had planned allowed me to do the 2026 virtual card making retreat, and I want to take a little bit of time and talk about that here in a little bit. Space heater. I have a space heater in my office. Gus likes to lay around it, and there's one in the TV room. I kind of just suffer in here, I guess. Usually, like, once I start going, I'm good. I've just kind of been sitting here jotting notes, so that I need just to keep moving. And there's not really a good plug option I have in this room for a space heater either, so I just kind of deal with it. I do have my slippers on, and again, the long sleeve, and my pants are kind of fuzzy inside, so that helps. So we are winding down the last days of bonus days, which means through February 2nd, for every $50 you spend, you will earn a $5 coupon to spend starting next month, which on the 3rd, not the 1st or the 2nd, because this runs, Gus, get down, come on. Because this promo, because it started like January 6th and goes through February 2nd. February 3rd, you can redeem your bonus day coupons. So if you've ordered this month, for every $50, you will have a code sent to you. So if you have like a $150 order, you will have one email with 3 codes in it. If you had an order of $150 and then later on a $50 order, like somebody here, I have 2 emails. I have one email that has like 3 codes in it, and then one email with 1 code. And you do have to use those starting February 2nd through February 28th. So it'll be a great time to pick up some supplies. Gus, get. Come on. Get. He's very needy. Oh, Mom's got items in the shopping cart. Well, you might as well wait until the 3rd to order so you can use your coupons. So that's going on. The product of the month continues, and I am going to be using that stamp set. It is, let's see here, the Fabulous Sayings stamp set. Oop, there we go. And I'm going to be, it's always weird, I'm going to be using this for the sentiment this evening, and so we'll talk about that again. So with your $75 order, you can add this stamp set for $5, and it really is a nice stamp set. I particularly am a fan of the Happy Birthday. I think I'm using the Thank You today. Now, next month, so starting the 3rd, so that'll be next Tuesday? let me look at the calendar. So next Tuesday, there is going to be a new join special. If you don't follow a lot of Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, you may not have seen, or there is a new Stampin' positioning tool that you can get for free if you join next month. I wasn't going to order one because I really like my Stamparatus, and then when I was on my little meeting last night, I was told that you can use it with a 12 by 12 paper. So I said, okay, I'm going to order it and see if I like it, because you can't really do anything 12 by 12 very well with the Stamparatus, which is the retired deal. So I do think at some point it will be available for purchase. They have not told us when. So if you want it, if you are a demonstrator, you must pre-order it before the 2nd. After that, you get it with your starter kit, starting February 3rd through the end of the month. If you have questions about that or are interested, reach out to me. I can give you more information. Let's see. Have that already. Oh, the stamp. Mom has you have this. The stamp set of the month. I think that's what you're referring to, saying that you have this already. So I think I would like to talk first about, just in case if more people pop on later, they can see the live demonstration, about the 2026 virtual card making retreat. So I am going to switch the camera so I can show you everything and I can talk to you about it, and kind of go from there. So this looks pretty good, I think. So I have all of this in. So the 2026 virtual card making retreat, and I was going to look it up because I don't have this slide like I did. Okay, here we go. So this retreat was $165. You do earn Stampin' Rewards if you purchase, or you can use Stampin' Rewards to redeem for this item. It is still available even though the live retreat is past. So this, I think the live videos so I ordered this kit, and I know I've showed you the stamp set. So you have this exclusive stamp set. So the only way, which I love this happy birthday as well, and I love this little thing. This stamp set, and you can see 2026 virtual card making retreat, is exclusive to the retreat. There would be no other way to get it. We also received the Forever Florals bundle, which will be available for purchase at some point. I don't know if this is on the next online release, but this will be available for purchase for those who are not interested in the retreat, but you really like the sentiments, or these dies are really cool. So I think Thursday they started the live videos, and so I ordered and I got invited to a private Facebook group. I had to answer questions. I had to put in my email address that I used to order the kit. Let's see. Hey, Linda. I had to put my name in, and I think there was some other question. I think they just used that to make sure, like, yes, you actually bought the kit so you can see the videos. So Saturday, I decided, by the time Saturday late morning, early afternoon rolled around, and I came into the craft room, I was like, I think this thing is going on this weekend. All of the videos were done, and so I was watching the recordings. So and look, they even have this. So this file here, there was 15 cards that were made. And I have leftover pieces of paper. So there was two-tone cardstock, there was designer series paper, and it was kind of cool. I should have left one maybe to show you. But let me just pull this. So this piece of designer series paper is left over from the kit. And you're going to notice it's only one-sided. And that is because, do you see this little scissor here? There were printed lines of where to cut. So like this might have been several pieces, but there was lines, so I could just line it in my trimmer and cut along the line. And then if it say like there was a line right here, this had like a number 2 on it. So then I knew this was a piece for card number 2. So it was very easy to prep for, and then kind of have all of your kits together. They had this file here available that just showed us the picture of the card, what inks we're using on the card, what card base, because most of them were all regular white card bases, and you did get a pack of basic white 8.5 by 11 in it. There was a lot of pre-cut, laser cut pieces, so it told you which ones, if you needed to do additional die cuts using the dies I showed you, and if there was any other prep. So the order of the videos is not 1 to 15. It was sporadic because it was based on who was presenting. And so I purchased the 2025 scrapbooking kit, and I have not put any of it together yet, but I'm very anxious to do it now because I had such a good experience with this. Now I will preface, these are avid cards, okay? I thought the pacing of the videos were really well, and being able to watch them on replay, I could pause or I could speed up. I could go rewatch something really easily if I was confused. But I thought if I showed some of my cards, then maybe that would inspire some of you to go ahead and purchase the kit. It is while supplies last. The Facebook videos will last for 30 days, but then they will upload them onto a YouTube channel, and they will provide you that information. This was probably one of my favorite here that we made. So there's a lot of going on here where they did gold embossing. So you need to have gold embossing powder. You could probably have done silver. I actually added the sequins on this one, but I want to show you, and I don't know how well you can see it, which is what's crazy. Let me focus. I am so sorry. Can you see this there? And let me find some more. There's actually stitching on this card. One of the other ones, it's like helping to hold the flowers down. Oh, here's one here. So we used our poker, not that one, the actual poker, and poked the holes and then did stitching, which I don't think I have done on a card in a really, 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 really long time. So they're actually stitching on here, and see like the little word background stamp, and then we did blending brush, and there's embossing back here. This is a very avid card, very pretty. Let's see, this one was this the last one we did? No, that one's different. Let me see. This was probably one of the more simple cards. And all of our envelopes were decorated too. Now this is kind of cool because we used the label to do a little latch. Oh, and I'm out of focus again, so I apologize. And several of the cards using the DSP to cover the full card front. I don't do that very often, so it's very different for me. This one, remember this. I want you to remember this card for later when I'm showing you some of the, isn't that cute? Showing you some of the samples. And so again, here's some twine on here. I loved it. This was one of my favorites. Again, these are, way to color this. These are avid cards, but if you're somebody who doesn't normally do avid cards, but you appreciate them, and you just need the instructions, it would be a good deal. Look at this one. We did clear embossing on all of these. So I was kind of reminded of several techniques that maybe I hadn't done. Now this one was, I think, the last one. Here on my mind and in my heart. And we did this die on the edge and we folded it down. It was very cool. This actually was the last one. This one was one of my favorites too. So we did some stitching here. used a needle and did like this distressed frame, which is cool. Now, oh, I should have showed, look at this one. We're going to have to do this for Stamp Club. We used the little photo pocket. Why can't I think of what those called are right now? To do a little shaker on the front of this one. This envelope had just a little stripe on the side there. What is that called? The darn little photo pocket. Can't remember. I do want to show you. Is it this one? Flip flap. Haha. It's not that one. There's one that we did some crazy flip flap thing in. It was the thank you card, I think. I'm going through and gonna find the one I'm looking for. Hello? Is it the hello card? Oh, it is this one. They had different sentiments on the inside and it was so weird. But look at this. We did little... They had... So the front was thanks, and then the inside was... You're in my mind and you're on my mind and in my heart. I was like, that doesn't go with thank you. So I just took the labels and embossed these little white flowers on there. So it's really kind of a fun. And then we did stitching through this die cut. Remember that too. We wrapped it around this little frame. So again, they are avid cards. What do I mean by avid? Means they are a little bit of work. So if you're not comfortable with that, then this may not be the workshop for you. They do tell you like all of the inks that you need and the Baker's Twine Essentials Pack, which I think is, I have some of them are gone now, but it's got several Baker's Twines in there. You use the brown one mostly, I believe. What Stampin' Tools, some blender brushes, the gold embossing powder, the sewing needle, scissors, different things like that. So yeah, the metallic wow, the basic wow, but gold embossing powder, clear, and white are the ones that we used. And again, you get this exclusive stamp set, and then you also get this bundle here. So that's a lot about that, but I have to say I had the best time. We talked about it in my group last night, and I said, for me, I've been really struggling just crafting, so it was great for me. I spent almost all day, well, after lunch or whatnot, around lunchtime, I did the rest of my cards, and I was just in the Babe Cave Saturday night, Sunday day into evening. And I think I finished the last two yesterday after work, the last two cards. So, and it took me, and I was pausing on because I was also watching like shows. So I would like see what the steps were, and then I would pause it, watch my show, color, do whatnot. So that's my experience. Highly recommend it if you're into very fancy cards. But with that, my stamping this evening is using a lovely sketch. And this sketch is our number 3 week sketch in my group, and I've been printing these off. I've used one or two of these so far, not all of them, but I have been writing the date on the back when I'm using it. So that's helpful. So my goal is not to repeat. I'm using the basic beige. I just grabbed that originally. Now I kind of like them on the basic beige, the little sketches. So we'll probably just go with it on the little key ring here. So I have several stamp sets that I've used or using. So I have had this Stripes and Dots for a while. It is still available. And it is red rubber, which is a dying breed of stamp around here. And what's really cool is you can place them all together on the really large box or block or split them up. So I am going to use the polka dots for some background. And I am using the thank you stamp from the Fabulous Sayings, which is the product of the month in January, which you can purchase for $5 with your $75 order. It's still available. It is while supplies last. So if you order in February, you can choose between the December DSP I think is available, this, or whatever comes out in February. Which actually, it wouldn't be February 1st, it would be February 3rd. It's the cycle of things. Tuesdays are a big deal in Stampin' Up! World. I have used the dies from the Creative Haven dies. I used this large label, which I don't know where it is because I did one last second, and now I'm a little paranoid that I don't know where it is. Oh, it's behind there. Thank goodness. I need to get some magnet cards cut down to this size. And just FYI, this is bundled with this stamp set, or you can get them. I think this on its own is pretty great, but it is bundled with this. I'm not using any of these sentiments, but I just wanted to show you you could get them together if you like. If you like. So for tonight's card, if we look at our sketch, the little gray box, I have deemed that to be a 4x4 piece of DSP for anybody who would like to recreate this. And then the little stripe in the back, I have deemed to be 1.5 by 4 1/4. I do think a great opportunity to use a ribbon there. I maybe should have done that myself, but I did use paper. And then I have the die cuts. So I am using this little label here. It's similar, and this little oval from the Creative Haven dies that you could use punches, you could use whatever you like. Now this DSP is the title of today's video, which is a new DSP that came out earlier this month. And lovely and beautiful designer series paper, and it is a specialty paper. If you can see that gold foil there in the back, has great patterns as well. This actually has a whole suite of products where there's stamps that coordinate and dies. I think there's like 2 stamp sets. It's a mega suite, but I do have some of the DSP, and I loved how just part of this flower pokes through on this die. It really, so when I lay this like this, like this, I think it's going to work lovely. So my 4x4 piece, we have this nice one, but we're going to use the cute little flowers. This is Fresh Freesia is my base. But I did cut the little 1/2-inch strip. It's also from the same paperback. So you see the little polka dot gold there is going to be our little stripe. So I thought it would be cool to do polka dots on the card base. So pretty easy for card measurements. It's a 4x4 square. Yeah, pretty easy. So I'm going to do tone on tone with Fresh Freesia. That's my card base. That's our little flowers here. And I am going to just go ahead and do the whole background, even though some of it's going to get covered. I could have rotated it too, I guess, but pretty simple. Gets on there nice and quick. Who is that? Turbo, what are you doing? Ooh, he's pixelated. I shouldn't have put that up because we want to do some other stamping. And I actually think I want to try I should have just done the whole thing. I'm stamping off. There we go. That looks kind of cute. Ooh, hello. There we go. Haha. So the little dots are stamped off, and then the sentiment is full strength. I should stamp something inside. You know, that workshop's gotten to me. I embossed on an envelope. Heat embossed. Seems totally bonkers, but I did. So definitely a great card that, you know, use what you have. I think would make a really easy Valentine card. Replace the tag maybe with a heart shape. Let color be your friend. Bone folder, where are you? You were right here, I swear. Bone folder, where are you? I have to. Here we go. And we're going to put our little stripe down. Now, I debate. So this actually, I have a little, I'm not exact, because this is in the middle of the square, but this is up more. But I think I'm going to put that little stripe up more, just to throw our brain off a little bit. Why not? Oh, I should have done it lower. See, now that looks weird. It's going to cover it up. Here I can smoosh it in a little bit more. We want to see a little bit of the gold. So I found what I like to do is to take a little Tombow and just do that to tack it on, and then I can flip and do the dimensionals. Because really the star is this cute partial flower. There, whoa, wow, we're just running up cat towers. Something they said during the retreat was the more dimensionals you use, the more love you're sending. I don't know if I believe that, but that is what they said. Somebody said, one of them said it, one of the presenters. It was Stampinup staff who did the tutorial or the demonstrations. Sarah Douglas did a couple of them. And there we go. We could add some bling. I currently do not have any. I should have put a vellum behind it. Think I can get one on? No. You know what? It's okay. My other sample has vellum behind it. It needs bling though. I don't know what I have handy. That's the problem. Ooh, what about these? I have these leftover Christmas gold things. I barely even used any. I don't even know if these are still available, but they're gold. And they're dots, so I am on team use whatever bling you have on hand. However, if you see bling, especially Stampin' Up! Bling, and you're like, oh my gosh, I really love that, you better go get it now, because stuff happens and it goes away. There we go. I think that helps. That was like perfect. So super simple. I love the idea of taking the little tag portion and using it at DSP as a little vignette piece. That's kind of what I saw here. It would be easy maybe to do, you could do like a alcohol spritzy, you could stamp on cardstock thing, but finding, sometimes our DSP just has those little moments that we can capture with our die. So let me, if I can find the act, I should have pulled out that pack of paper. I don't think I did. Oh, here. And so this is what I did, because it came from here, is I took my die. So I have this piece here, and I really wanted to cut in the middle, so I was using, okay, if I didn't cut a whole piece, and it's directional, so I couldn't do it this way, because then it would put the little tag at the bottom. But take your paper and lay it out. That one's not really a good one. There was also this piece, but these were really big. So I thought they were a little too big. Could have come up with these little ones here. They have gold in the center. But take your die and line it over your paper, and then just take your trimmer, your snips, and you could kind of get some clean cuts, and then you'd probably have some, you would have some usable, that's a great back pieces. So that's how I came up with that. Like, here's another one. You could take it and, you know, we could have, there's no gold there, but you get like that corner of the flower. Or this would be a good one, and your sentiment would cover this, and you'd get these cute little flowers. So lay your dies on your paper when you're thinking about what you're die cutting out. And that might help you choose, because it did me. Because again, those other flowers were a little too big for that shape of die. So the thumbnail for this has the sketch, but I rotated it, right? So I have portrait landscape version, and then I flipped the tag, again, based off of how I die cut out this image. I didn't want to cover up the center. I wanted the center, so I just put that over here. So on this one, I used the little stripe. I used the stripe strip here and here. And then my background, I think I've used this a couple of times. This is the Lasting Linen background stamp. And it's all tone on tone. So instead of my little 1/2 inch piece is 5.5 instead of 4 1/4, because it's going landscape. And then I did put a piece of vellum, 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, over the 4x4 DSP to kind of mute that paper out. Wish I would have done it here, but I think having the bling on there helped. So use your vellum to mute your busy DSPs. So left over from the scrapbooking workshop, I had a stencil, and let me, remember I said remember this card here? One of our laser cuts was this, and we actually used it as a stencil for here. When I was done, I had it taped down on the card, on this card front. When I took it up, I had this great white border around it, and it looked so pretty. I kept it. And so I made this card with the sketch in mind. So this is obviously a lot bigger than the tag is, using all leftover pieces and stamps from the scrapbooking workshop. So I cut out the label from the dies. This little grid paper was leftover DSP. The background stamping on Darling Duckling here is the large floral stamp, which is exclusive to the retreat. And I did the flower here on the corners. And then this is this happy birthday. And I just did used a post-it note to mask off. Half of it, inked it, then pulled off the post-it note so I could stack the happy birthday in there. I didn't stamp inside. I didn't learn that well. I should have that floral probably inside. So I used my stencil to make this card. And then tonight after work, I was so inspired with all of the stitching that we did on some of those cards. I did black thread, so around this one. And this is using the Square Snippets 12x12 paper. This is a little DSP here. And as this, and I used the Hello from the Fabulous Sayings, which is the product of the month. Now I did go ahead and cover up the back with white, but I did I I went ahead and I taped the DSP, that little rose DSP on there. And I took my pierce mat and my little death poker. And I went and I just eyed the holes. And then came through with a needle. I took that Baker's thread. The Baker's Essentials pack. It actually has 5 strands with it. And so we did that on the other sewing cards. I have this left that I think there's 3 in here. So I pulled 2 off like you do for embroidery thread. And I hand stitched that just before coming on live. And then I used the little baby leaf, which is this one here. I didn't do the little lines. So that's what this is, because it kind of looks like that. I did just the same color. I actually thought I was pulling garden green when I did this, and it's shaded spruce, but it doesn't look bad. This is really garden green. It looks pretty good on here. I haven't gotten to, but I did my inspiration from the workshop doing the hand stitching. It looks pretty cool in person. I went ahead and did the black because I think this is really the secret C is really what's inside these flowers, but it looks like black. So just a fun little card. So that, oh, you do get these little dots in the scrapbook retreat too. So. And I have all those left over. I just realized that. That's a lot left over. We did color some of those. I wonder if these will be available. These are the Moody Palette Glassy Dots. Moody Palette. So there is the sketch for this week. Quick, fun. You know, it doesn't have to be, quite exactly as it's shown. Interpret it how you choose. This could be, again, like I thought, like a big heart here with a label. Put ribbon here instead of paper. Could be thicker if you wanted it to. I don't know. Does anybody else see these and like try to do it as literal as possible? I'm really impressed with myself. I rotated it to be landscape. You could add layers like I did. I added a vellum. Maybe you shrink this 4x4 down to 3.5 by 3.5 and give it a little secondary border. Zhuzh it up. You can always add layers. Add that 1/8 inch layer or that 1/4 inch layer. So add an 1/8 or a 1/4 inch to whatever your DSP is, and a solid color will always elevate your card, putting a little border on it. That's why I chose to do the stitch here, just to show you. It just makes it look so different. Now there's no foil on it, but it does look so different. So this is really a little bit more of an interpretation because the label's bigger, the little background's bigger, but the stitch does something. I contemplated stamping on the background like I did these, but I thought the stitching overlapping kind of did that. So let me know in the comments if you've ever stitched on a card. Would you like to see that in action? It felt like it was going to be intimidating, but it really wasn't. Let me know. I know I looked at a comment Julie had left on the Valentine's video. Oh, the weaving paper. So I need to have that on my paper weaving. I need to have that on my list of things. So just last reminders. Come here. Stitch and plaid. Ooh, now you're asking for something. I'd have to look papers. The bonus days ends on Monday. So February 2nd is your last day to order and earn bonus day coupons. And you can start redeeming those coupons on February 3rd through February 28th, and then they expire. If you need more information on the scrapbook retreat, let me know. Again, they are avid cards, not for everybody. I really enjoyed it. It was great for me. Again, a lot of really cool techniques that I'm gonna be able to incorporate in my projects that I'm showing here on YouTube and with Stamp Club. So it was, for me, it was amazing. I thought it was, the products and the learning the cards, I think, was well worth the money. And I would hope most of you know me well enough. I would not say that if I didn't think that was true. Join Special starts coming up on February 3rd with the new position tool. I have ordered it. I doubt it will be here for next week's video because I didn't order it until last night because I didn't think I wanted to order it. But I did. I'm just like you all. To be honest, I see stuff and I'm like, have to have it. That was not my first reaction to it. After I found out, like, well, you could use it with a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock. I went, well, okay, let's see. It is a $49 value, so it's a $49 product. And so when I get it, I'll show it to you because I'll have to figure out how to use it. So I think that's it. I will be back next Tuesday. We will do Stamp Club projects that are floating around. They're all prepped in the bottom. I'm going to have to remember what I have planned because it's cut. Because I haven't looked at it in so long since we skipped. So I'll get that figured out. And we'll see you next Tuesday for whatever it is that we're doing in Stamp Club. I really can't remember. I do know there's a little 3D project, which we haven't done in a while. So I'm kind of excited to show you that because you could use it for Valentine's or Easter coming up, which I think a lot of people like having little things for those holidays. Easy to give like a little treat or something in. I think it's a birthday card with a little birthday gift thing, but I feel it is a birthday card that we're making. So it'll be great. As always, if you need anything or have questions, please reach out to me. You can find me. I think you can send me messages here. I don't know. Like, I try to check the comments. I used to get emails when I first started that I, like, yo, you have a new comment. I don't get those notifications anymore, and I have checked my settings, so I have no idea what that is all about. But, you know, send me an email, message me on Facebook, text me. My phone number is out there. I'm not going to say it, but it's out there. You can find it. Well, talk to you later. Stay warm. And we'll see you around. Bye. Oh! What? Less than $1. Send a smile. Send your cards in the mail. Less than $1. Sends a smile. I know. Postage is so expensive. So it's like, it's less than $1. It's less than $1. Now have a great night. Stay warm. Bye.